All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting matchup in this Red River Athletic Conference. Matchup here at the park at St. Mary's University between the Texas A&M University San Antonio Jaguars and the Our Lady of the Lake University Saints. The Saints got a W in commanding fashion the last game as that ball is going all the way left field, and that is gone out of here, Brian. Already the Saints have a home run from Lily Rocha. That was pretty much the story last game, Brian. Hits were going crazy, and the Saints are waiting for her at home plate as right off the bat, the Saints made a statement. Although it was one run, but that is one way to start a game, Brian, as these Saints are swinging away now. That, as I was saying, the Saints won 11-1 in the first game of this doubleheader. I am Tony Talamantes. We couldn't even do our introductions, Brian. That's how quick these Saints get to action. I am Tony Talamantes, a commentator, play-by-play commentator, and technical director for Jaguars Sports Network. I have the pleasure and honor of calling this game on this beautiful Saturday afternoon with the president of Jaguars Sports Network, Brian Lopez. Brian, how are you today?
I'm doing amazing. All I can say is I have my jaw dropped. I'm not sure how many viewers out there are feeling the same, which is a strong start with the Saints right here.
Absolutely, Brian. Another hit goes left field, but Saints are going to elect to stay. Senia Perez is going to elect to stay on first base. Grace Ross is heading to the plate, and she's one that can swing away as well, Brian, as we saw in the first game.
That's right, Tony. The Saints came here prepared and ready to win this game.
Absolutely. Jaguars are having a discussion on the mound after that fast-paced start by the Saints. But it is a nice day weather-wise, Brian, as the clock is winding down on the afternoon. It's 4:20 here at the park at St. Mary's. They were letting us use their press box, so we thank them for not only using the press box, but the field here at the park. So I appreciate St. Mary's for having us, hosting us here on their home turf, as they have a doubleheader of baseball going on as well here on campus, Brian, just next door to us.
That's right, Tony. Beautiful weather, as you said. Good sunny weather with no cloud to be seen.
No clouds, just skunks out there in the outskirts of the field, as we saw a skunk earlier in the first game. This doubleheader is that ball. Not sure what's happening. The umpire was out as well.
But yes, that's right, Tony. Even the skunk was here spectating this game. Just shows you that it's a game you can't miss.
Oh, good hit. Grace Ross is going to go up and high, and outfield unable to get under it, and that's going to get Ross a double play. She's going to get to second base, third base. Runners on second and third, Brian. I thought the ball beat the third baseman, but that's why I'm up here and not down there umpiring the game, as Saints in great position again, Brian.
That's right, Tony. They're off to a really strong start right here for the first inning and the second game of the doubleheader.
A.J. Flores is able to get a hit on it, and that's going to have one Saint run into home. And Flores is going to – she's stuck in between first and second. She's going to elect to go back to first. And runner on third. Ross on third. Flores on first. And Saints up 2-0 quick in the top of the first inning, Brian.
Again, make sure to comment who you're cheering for and where you are from. We have a little map we'd like to fill out right here. I believe the last place we got was Alaska, I believe. I might be wrong.
Alaska was the furthest out recently, but we've had people from Brazil watching, I believe, Brian, and watching basketball, soccer, all the sports here. As looks like the Jaguars are once again switching pitchers, Brian, as that's been the story here. We've seen 3 pitchers on the day, and it looks like we're going to be seeing a 4th one here.
That's right, Tony. It could be part of their strategy, and see, maybe it could be a different outcome for the second game of the doubleheader.
I believe that's Caitlin Martin is getting the nod to head on the mound. Freshman out of McAllen, Texas.
Now pitching for the Jaguars, number 28, Caitlin Martin.
Ooh, all right. She's going to swing and a miss there from number 23 of the Saints, Caitlin Terrazas. Martin pitching with confidence, Brian. Ball's a little right. That'll be ball number 1. Counts 1-1. No outs. Oh, that ball's hit up, and the first baseman able to get under it. But the Saints able to get a runner in. Brings the score up to 3-0, Brian. And Saints are looking to end this one quick as they're already up 3-0 in the top of the first inning. Ava Hernandez.
Right, Tony. They brought their A game today.
Absolutely. As Ava Hernandez is up on the plate, she gets contact. That's going to go up straight in the hands of the second baseman. 2 outs for the Saints. That was Ava Hernandez who hit that grand slam in the first matchup, Brian.
Seems like the Lady Jags are getting the rhythm right here.
Absolutely. Krista Salas up at plate for the Saints, and you might be right, Brian, is the change of pitcher, and Martin is showing to be a good change for the Jaguars.
Hey, at least the program didn't turn off on you today.
No, yeah, right? That's why I stopped counting pitches.
That hasn't happened yet.
No, because I stopped counting pitches.
Krista Sal is able to get contact. That's going to go straight over the infield or outfielder. I apologize. And Sal is able to make it to first base. Runners on first and third, Brian, and Saints having their way with the Jaguars as Caitlin Casas is heading to the plate. Jaguars struggling to find an answer for these Saints early in this contest, Brian.
That's right, Tony. It seems once the Lady Jags keep up even for a second, the Saints come out of nowhere, a new tactic right here.
Now batting for the Saints, number 22, Caitlin
Casas able to hit straight down the middle, Brian. That's going to get another Lady Saint to home. Runners on first and second. Catastrophe here at the park. St. Mary's University for these Lady Jaguars as the Saints up 4-0 the top of this first inning.
equaled their hits from the last game.
Yeah. One inning.
Kayla Rogers at the plate. 2 outs for the Saints. 1 more out will do it for the Jaguars to escape top of this first. Oh. Hit by Casas goes straight to Martin. She'll get her out, and Jaguars finally able to escape top of the first inning. Brian scores 4-0.
That's
And
right, Tony. I got to say, that was a quick reaction right there by the pitcher.
great reaction by Martin, actually. Good call out there, Brian, as that could have been catastrophe if that ball slid right through her. And we'll see what the Jaguars can do on the offensive side as they're down big at the top of the first inning. So we'll go ahead and send into a little break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are back at the park. St. Mary's. Kaylee Barlow at the bat for the Jaguars. Jaguars able to escape that first inning, down 0-4. See if they can get something going here offensively as Barlow is here. And we have count 0-1 and contact by Barlow. That ball's going to go foul. Make sure if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. We're trying to reach our goal of 900 subscribers. By the end of the semester, as Barlow gets hit on that, and that's going to go left field. Oh, almost a catch by left fielder, but it's going to go out as an error as Barlow is able to make it to first. Almost a spectacular catch by the Lady Saint, Brian, but it slipped out graciously for the Jaguars. So that would have been heartbreaking.
That's right, Tony. This could be the chance where the Lady Jags could get a couple points right here for the first inning, bottom of the first inning.
Absolutely, as Christiana Luera is at the plate.
Again, I gotta love those chants from the dugouts right there. Makes me think we should come up with one for ourselves.
Absolutely, Brian. As Luera shows bunt, and she's going to make it to first, and Barlow's able to make it to second. Runners on first and second, and Jaguars are in a good position here, Brian. And first we've seen all day them in a position to capitalize, and we'll see if we can get something going here as Haley McDonald steps up to the plate with that incredible walkout song. Can't get enough of that song, Brian. And you're right, we got to figure out a chant ourselves for Jaguar Sports Network. I'm not very creative, so we'll have to leave that to our creativity behind scenes and our lovely crew we have with Jaguar Sports Network. McDonald's at the plate. Nice hit down the middle. And she's going to just... Couldn't tell. This pillar got in my way. She made it to... Did not make it to first base, so she'll be heading back to the dugout. I'll be bringing the count to 2 outs. Actually, it looks like the Saints were able to get a double out there, Brian, as Barlow's the only one left on third base. So the count's 0-0 with 2 outs. Man, I must say I missed that, and Jaguars in dangerous position here. 2 outs. Samaro at the plate.
As you were saying, Tony, I'd like to take the time and shout out the team of Jaguars Sports Network. Thank you to Carlos and Victoria out there taking the beautiful pictures that you can see on our social media. Nevenka Gomez with Marcom and social media, as well as for the graphics we have posted here. We'd like to thank Natalie here with the photo editing, picture taking as well. Tony and myself as commentators, as well as technical director here, and keeping the scoreboard.
Shout out to our beloved Cameron Caldwell, the play-by-play commentator who was unable to make it here, but he's here in spirit, and I believe he's in the chat. So shout out, Cam. Miss you, big dog. As the count's 3-0, 2 outs. Aguilar on the plate. Barlow anxiously waiting to get to home to get something on the scoreboard for the Jaguars, and Aguilar is going to walk to first. Runners in first and second, and coming up to the plate is Karina Perez, sophomore out of Eagle Pass. Batting at a 286 average. Perez, that's going to go up high, straight into the pitcher. I apologize, third baseman, and that's going to send the Jaguars back to the dugout. Scoreless, Brian. Scores 4-0. The Saints are going to be heading back to the plate at the top of the second inning. We'll go ahead and send into a little break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back here at the park at St. Mary's University in this doubleheader of Red River Athletic Conference softball between the Texas A&M University San Antonio Jaguars against the Our Lady of the Lake University Saints. Saints up big at the top of the second inning, Brian, 4-0 as Rocha's at the plate. Martin still on the mound. Murcha hits a nice swinger down the left field, and she's going to make it to first. She's going to go for second base, Brian. She's going to make it safe for a double play. This has been the story all day, Brian. These Lady Saints can hit, and when they hit, they make you pay for it.
That's right, Tony. And as they say, go big or go home.
Sania Perez here, heading to the plate.
Now batting for the Saints, number 9, Yesenia Perez.
Showing bunt, but unable to hit there, and that's going to be a ball number 1 for Perez. That pitch was a little right. 2-0 is the count. Again, if you're just joining us, Jaguar Sports Network, don't be afraid to like and subscribe and comment where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. As Perez able to get a hit, that's going to go right, and the right fielder drops the ball, and Perez is going to stay. She's going to slide into home. Brian, this game is all Saints. Scores 5-0. And their heavy hitter, Grace Ross, is stepping to the plate. Brian, whose name we've said multiple times. She can hit, and when she hits, that ball flies, Brian. These Lady Saints are swinging with impunity, Brian, as I must say. Impunity is the word of the day on the Word of the Day app that I use. We've been making a common theme here in these past couple games. Tony Talamantes' Word of the Day, impunity.
That's right, Tony. And would you care to say what the app you use, just for all the viewers out there, in case they're interested, for a Word of the Day out there, to expand their knowledge and language out here?
That is the Atlas app on Apple. As that ball was right. Bringing the count to 2-1 for Grace Ross. Grace Ross, wow, what a hit right in between the pitcher. We got a double play for Grace Ross. Runner on first is now on third. Runners on second and third, Brian, and still the same story. Catastrophe for the Jaguars. With A.J. Flores heading back to the plate. Another heavy hitter, Brian. Scary position for the Jaguars. Waiting here as it may be searching for a softball, Brian. As a couple balls have gone foul, and looks like umpires, coaches, and players alike are looking around.
That's right, Tony. I believe there are some above our heads right here in the roof.
Absolutely.
Taking one or two since they go our way right here.
And it looks like Brian are making a change at pitcher again. This might be the fourth or fifth time we've seen in changes at the pitcher, Brian.
That's right, Tony. It seems to be a common theme for today's game.
Absolutely, and it's gonna be Morgan Gutierrez is warming up on the mound, and yeah, 3 or 4 times I believe pitchers changed, which, like you said, is a common theme here in desperation for the Jaguars, trying to find an answer for these Saints, because it has been all Saints this second game of our doubleheader, Brian. Let's see what the Jaguars can do here as they are getting set to resume this top of the second inning.
New pitcher for the Jaguars, number 14, Morgan Gutierrez.
AJ Flores is at bat.
AJ Flores.
Runners on second and third, Brian. See if Gutierrez can have an answer for these Saints as they are in prime scoring position. As that pitch is outside right, bringing the count to 1-0. 0 outs. Oh, Flores able to get a hit of that, but that's going to go foul. It's going to go to that soccer field that's behind us, Brian. That ball was gone.
That's right, Tony. A lot of strong hits right here. We can see from the Saints.
Pitch is right outside. Bringing the count to 2-1. Oof. Good hit from Flores, and unable to get under it, and they're going to have one Saint run in. Grace Ross is going in. She's going to slide in. And the hitter's going to go to third. Brian, triple play. She's out of there. I apologize. Jaguars are able to make something happen there as 2 Saints are able to run into home. Score 7-0 already, Brian, at the top of the second inning. 1 out. Catastrophe here at the park.
Wow, 7-0 in the second inning right here. I'm not sure we can expect after this.
Caitlin Terrazas stepping up to the plate. But like I mentioned in the first game, Brian, these Saints were the champs last year, and they're showing the Jaguars in this cross-city rivalry why they are champs as that ball goes foul. Oh, Terrazas hits it. That's going to go down the middle. That is going to hit the back fence. She's going to make it all the way to second for a double base, Brian, and it is all Saints. All Saints this second game of the doubleheader, and Gutierrez having a conversation with Aguilera, the first baseman, and here comes Henry. The Jaguars having a discussion and trying to make sorts of what's going on here in the top of the second inning.
That's right, Tony. They're trying to find a tactic that could work for this second game of the doubleheader. See if anything works.
Now batting for the Saints, number 44, Ava Hernandez.
Ava Hernandez at the plate for the Saints. She's another heavy hitter for the Saints. Shout out to Junior Hernandez saying, "Let's go Jags," in the chat. Thank you for tuning in, as well as the rest of y'all tuning in to watch this doubleheader of softball action here at the park at St. Mary's University. As Hernandez able to get a hit in it, and that's going to go left into the left midfield, able to get under it there. She's going to throw to third. Runner's able to beat the ball at third. She's safe. 2 outs. Jaguars need 1 more out to escape this second inning, Brian. Top of the second inning, I should say. And
That's right, Tony. And make sure to like and subscribe, and as well follow our Instagram page at Jaguars Sports Network.
Now batting for the Saints, number 8,
Christy
Christy Salas.
Salas at the bat. Gets contact, but that's going to go foul.
Foul ball.
Which is high right. We're going to count 1-1, 2 outs. Salas still at the plate. Gutierrez still on the mound. Is keeping an eye on that pitcher position, as that's changed quite a few times today, Brian.
That's right, Tony. I believe it was at least 4 or a 4, from what I can remember.
I believe it was 4 times, Brian. We've seen 5 different pitchers on the day for the Jaguars. Contact, but that's going to go foul, bringing the count 2-2. 2 outs, 1 strike will do it. The Jaguars to escape the top of the second inning. Able to make contact, and that'll send both teams back to the dugouts. Heading to the middle of the second inning. The Saints are up big, Brian, 7-0, as we're getting set for the bottom of the second inning. We'll go ahead and send into a little break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back here at the park at St. Mary's University. Scores 7-0, Saints up big in the bottom of the second inning as Torrey Campos is at the plate for the Jaguars.
Lady Jags got to bring their A game for this second inning as stakes are high right now.
Absolutely, Brian. We'll take this time to remind everybody the 8 after 5 rule is if a team is up by 8 innings after the 5th inning is complete, that'll be the ball game. And so far, the Saints are in position to do just that if they can get one more run on these Jaguars as that pitch is high right, bringing the count to 3-0. Campos trying to get something going here for the Jaguars. And Campos will take her base. Rachel Warren is heading to the plate for the Jaguars.
Now batting for the Jaguars, number 11, Rachel Warren.
Oh, Warren shows bunt. She's going to make contact, and she's not going to make it to first. She'll be thrown out. But we did get the first baseman advancing to second base. Brian. So we got a runner on second. Ashton Weinhardt is heading to the plate.
Now batting for the Jaguars, number 00, Ashley Whiteheart.
That'll be a strike. Weiner makes contact. That's going to go foul right above us, Brian.
That's right, Tony. Thank God for the roof.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there's at least, 3 balls up there?
That sounds about right, Brian. So, again, shouting out St. Mary's for allowing us to use their facilities here in the press box. Nice air conditioning. As the count's 0-2, 1 out. Weinhardt at the plate. Again, that ball's going to go foul into the stands. Stands on the Saints side well protected. They have umbrellas. They have canopies. Looks like they're safe over there, Brian.
Even without the umbrellas, we've seen in the past few games the viewers just not moving at all when they see the ball heading towards them.
Absolutely.
Quite the opposite with me. I will dodge anything.
Why not able to get contact, but that's going to go foul as well.
Just to show we got some strong hitters on our side as well.
Absolutely,
Heading towards
Brian.
The soccer field right there as well.
Absolutely, as you said it. We do have hitters on this side. Their balls are just not going in their favor there. Again, Brian, we got to like this chance coming from the
Again, we got to come up with
dugouts.
our own.
Absolutely.
I can feel the inspiration right here.
Foul ball.
That's going to send Weinart to the dugout, Brian. 2 outs on the Jags. Alyssa Vicente heading to the plate.
Not the position the Lady Jags want to be in right now.
Not at all, Brian. And Saints doing a fantastic job here on both sides of plays. They're getting it done offensively and defensively as still have Warren on second. Vicente's trying to make some contact here. Get some runs on the board, Brian. It's a tough position, like you mentioned, to be in for the Lady Jaguars. And she gets contact, and oh, the Saints able to get unable to get under it, and she's gonna make Vicente's gonna make it to first. Warren's on third. Runners on first and second with Kaylee Barlow heading to the plate. Apologize, runners on first and third. Again, I can't count for the viewers at home. Kaylee Barlow is up to bat. And Barlow able to get hit and unable to beat the ball at first base. Send the Jaguars to the dugout.
Very
Almost
close
able-
call right there. Almost
Almost
getting a couple
able-
points on our side.
Absolutely, Brian. They were so close to get a run in. They were in position and unable to capitalize, and that'll keep the score to 7-0.
That's right, Tony.
We'll go ahead and send this into a little break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are back at the park as hit already by the Saints, number 22, Caitlin Casas.
Great catch by the Lady Jags, though.
Absolutely, Brian. They were able to capitalize there and get one out, which we haven't seen from the outfielders. Every hit that these Saints seem to have, it'll go exactly where they need it to be. So one quick out for the Jags is Gutierrez is still on the mound.
Let's see if that's
Kayla
the
Rogers at the plate.
advantage the Lady Jags are looking for in the third inning.
Brian, it looks like some of the spectators heard that there's been some home runs. They're out there past the fence waiting for a ball to catch, as that ball is maybe ball number 2. Counts 2-0. One out. Rogers on the plate. Oof, Rogers. Strong hit on that. Our left outfielder able to get under. I believe that's Luera out there. And 2 quick outs on the Saints, Brian. The Jaguars are looking to shift the momentum here.
That's right. It almost seems like the Jaguars have figured out the Saints tactic right there.
What number was that?
Six.
That was 6. Who's up right now?
32. Now batting for the Saints, number 32, Lily Roca.
Lily Rocha is here at the plate. We've seen her hit a couple. Brian, it seems everybody on this Saints roster on the batting list is hit as Rocha makes contact. That's going to go foul.
Who was up first bats? 22? And then we batted 6? Yeah.
22, 6, and now 32.
32?
Correct.
He did a double switch. And pay attention to what he's
Ball is going to go foul. Counts 2-2, 2 outs. One more strike will do it. Rocha still at the plate. Gutierrez pitch. Another foul ball. Jaguars, I got to say, Brian, have done a good job at the top of this 3rd inning versus their previous 2. It was tough for them. And it looks like they're starting to get something going here, Brian.
That's right, Tony. It seems they're implementing what their coach told them, and then they're figuring out the rhythm right here.
That's absolutely, Brian. That's going to be a strike. That'll send the teams to their dugouts. And the Saints are scoreless for the first time in the top of the 3rd inning. We'll be heading to the 3rd inning, and we'll go ahead and send into a little break.
Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom of the 3rd inning right here. with score being 1-0 with 0 outs.
Counts 1-1 for Luera. And we got to thank everybody for tuning in to this live broadcast of Jaguar versus Saints action here at the park at St. Mary's University. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to like and subscribe. Comment where you're watching from, who you're supporting, whether it's Saints or Jaguars. We support and thank all the viewers we get on this channel as we're trying to grow to 900 subscribers by the end of the semester. And don't be afraid to follow us on Instagram as well at Jaguar Sports Network. We're trying to reach our goal of 500 followers by the end of the semester, as well as counts 2-2 for Luera at the plate. Luera makes contact, goes right in the hands of the first baseman, Grace Ross. Gotta say, Brian, Grace Ross is towering above a lot of the players out there at 6 feet tall.
That's right, Tony. That's taller than me as well.
Haley McDonald at the plate. Makes contact. It's going to go foul.
Lady Jazz got to take advantage of this bottom of the third inning as the Saints didn't score any at the top of the third.
Counts 1-1, 1 out. McDonald at the plate. Donald makes contact. That ball will go foul. Looks like it went to the stands, Brian.
I believe so. Again, the viewer's not moving a muscle right there. Wish I had that nonchalant energy right there.
Absolutely, Brian. McDonald here at the plate. Swinging, but going to go foul. Ball's high. Oh, McDonald able to hit, and that's great ball awareness by the Saints. Brian goes to the third baseman, throws it straight to first baseman. 2 outs. Well, the Jaguars, Samara Aguilera is heading to the play. These Saints are here to play, Brian.
That's right, Tony. Let's see if there's a change of events right here since we only have 2 outs.
Aguilera looking to make something happen for this Jaguars. They are in desperation as that ball is going to make contact right on top of us, Brian.
Again, thank God for this roof. And again, thank you to St. Mary's for letting use their booth and their field, the park as they call it.
Aguilera hitting, that's going to go into the Jaguars dugout.
How many times do you have number 8?
You worked at
played so far?
their number 8?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking some maybe new guys around.
How many?
Like 4. You know, because we need some dubs on our team.
That ball is a little high. It counts 2-2, 2 outs, 1 more strike will send the teams back to the dugouts, Brian.
That's right, Tony. They got to take any advantage they can for this bottom of the third.
That was batted top of first, and she batted again top of second.
That one has a curtain, so it's fine.
Aguilera able to get a hit on it. That's going to go in the middle of the field. Aguilera's going to try for a double play, and she's going to make it. Good hit by Aguilera and a good run, making it to second base. Brian, Jaguars showing some life here at the bottom of the third inning.
Jaguars know what's at stake here. You know, she had to go for that second base right there.
Karina Perez heading to the plate.
Number 1, Karina Perez.
It's going to be a strike, Brian. Count 0-1. Perez makes contact. That ball will go foul.
Foul ball.
Pitch is a little high. 1-2. 2 outs. Perez on the plate. Runner on second. And Aguilera. Perez able to make contact, but she's not going to beat the ball at first. That'll send both teams back to the dugout. Jaguars scoreless again at the bottom of the third inning, Brian. We'll be heading to the fourth, and
Jaguar fans.
we'll see what the the Jaguars can do to answer the Saints' play, as
Round of applause
it's
for
been
Notice.
all Saints this second game of this doubleheader, Brian. And we'll go ahead and send into a little break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back here at the park at St. Mary's University in this Red River Athletic Conference doubleheader. Texas A&M University San Antonio Jaguars are taking on Our Lady of the Lake University Saints, and the Saints are in commanding lead, Brian, 7-0 at the top of the fourth inning. As Gutierrez is on the mound for the Jaguars, and on the plate is Yesenia Perez. And we'll see what the Jaguars can do defensively, as the count is 1-1 for Perez. Another hit for the Saints, going to go left, and Perez is going to make it to first base. Been the story here, Brian. The Saints get nice hits down left and middle field, in between the baseman and shortstop, and even the pitcher themselves, and their big hitter, 6-footer Grace Ross, is heading to the plate, Brian. We've seen her hit a couple of bangers
Absolutely right.
today.
Tony.
What number is this? This is number 21.
Strike one. Well, Grace Ross gets a hit on it. That's going to go straight to the right outfielder. Able to get under it.
Great response by the Lady Jags by catching that ball right there.
Absolutely. Brian, as the Saints have had their way with him.
Now batting for the Saints, number 30, PJ Flores.
It's A.J. Flores at the plate.
Foul ball.
Swinging, and that ball's going to go foul. Flores, nice smack right down the middle past the pitcher, Gutierrez, and she's going to make it to first. Runners on first and second, Brian.
That's right, Tony. Great hit there. Going through the middle.
Now batting for the Saints, number 1, Rihanna Aguirre.
Rihanna Aguirre at the plate for the Saints, looking to capitalize on the runners on first and second. Ball's a little left. Aguirre is able to make contact with it, and it's gonna ball's gonna just be mishandled by the Jaguars, and Saint able to make it a home, Brian.
That's right, Tony. The ball escaping out of the Lady Jags' hands out there.
Showing frustration. Jaguars showing frustration out there on that left side of the field. It was a bit of confusion, but Saints again in position to just keep on scoring, putting the nail in the coffin in this doubleheader. Brian is got one out and runners on first and second. Jaguars, Gutierrez and Henry having a discussion as Alexi Escamilla is heading to the plate, Brian. Oh, Escamilla makes solid contact. Gonna go to the left outfield. And that is out of here, Brian. A grand slam for Alexi Escamilla. That's gonna bring the Saints up to 12, and Saints are celebrating all over the home plate. What a hit by Escamilla. It is all Saints today, Brian.
Grand slam. Couldn't have said it better myself, Tony. That great hits right here. And these, not even just this second game of the second header, but the first one as well. Making the score 11-0.
The scary part is, Brian, the Saints are still hitting after that with only one out. Jaguars having a discussion on the mound. Seen 2 grand slams on the day, Brian.
First time we've seen these many grand slams in a game, Tony.
Absolutely, Brian. It's
Now batting for the Saints, number 24, Jaslyn Gomez.
Jaslyn Gomez is at the plate for the Saints. Gutierrez still on the mound. Ball's going to go foul for Gomez.
Ball heading to the Saints dugout area right there.
Oh, 2 is the count for Gomez, and ball's going to go a little right. Bringing it to 1-2, 1 out. If you are just tuning in, don't be afraid to like and subscribe to our channel here at Jaguars Sports Network. Jaguars Sports Network, excuse me. We cover all things Jaguar sports. Home games as that ball is hit by Gomez in the hands of our second baseman. That'll give 2 outs for the Saints. One more will send this to the top of the 5th. But as I was saying, don't be afraid to like and subscribe. Comment where you're from, where you're viewing from, who you're supporting, whether it's the Saints or the Jaguars. We welcome all viewers. We thank all viewers for supporting us. We're trying to reach our goal of 900 subscribers by the end of the semester. And don't be afraid to follow us on Instagram at Jaguar Sports Network. Shout out to Zay Vlogs, saying Zay Vlogs in the house. 4 exclamation points. He wants to make sure you hear him out there in the audience as well. Thank you for tuning in again, my friend. As Caitlin Casas is at the plate. Counts 3-0. 2 outs. Gutierrez trying to help the Jaguars escape the top of this 4th inning, Brian.
That's right, Tony, because the Lady Jags only got the bottom of the 4th and bottom of the 5th to not get that mercy rule.
Absolutely, and that ball is going to be a little outside, and that'll send Casas straight to first base.
Now batting for the Saints, number 20, Garcia.
Alyssa Garcia at the plate for the Saints. And she's going to make contact with it, bounce right over the pitcher. It's going to go over second baseman. She's going to make it to first base. Runners first, second, Brian. And everybody is getting a hit in for the Saints team today.
That's right, Tony. Seems the ball does not want to get caught by the Lady Jags right here.
Now batting for the Saints, number 32, Lily Rocha.
Lee Rocha is at the play here, and she's hit it a couple times today as well, Brian. And ball is going to be a strike. Again, shout out to Zay Vlogs. Thank you for those lovely, kind words saying, giving the commentators love. We appreciate all viewers, whether they're not commentating or commentating. We appreciate everybody. So thank you again, Zay Vlogs. It's always a pleasure. And having you in the chat with us. That ball is going to go foul there by Rocha. Rocha able to make contact. That's going to go right field and going to send a Saint home and possibly a double play for her. No, she's going to go back to throw first. She's going to overthrow to home. We got 2 Saints going home. Rocha's making a second base, and catastrophe is still the story here at the park at St. Mary's, Brian, for the Jaguars. Miscommunication, frustration all over the field from the Jaguars. Scores 13-0. Jaguars still struggling to escape the top of this 4th inning, as the Arlington Lake University Saints are showing why they're the national champions, Brian. Jaguars having a team discussion there on the mound. Trying to make sense of what's happening. As there 2 outs for the Saints, and another strong hitter in Yesenia Perez heading to the plate.
That's right, Tony. Lady Jags got to come up with something because they have not much time left.
Looks like there's making a switch again. Brian, that pitcher, Limon's coming back out for the first time since the beginning of the first game of this doubleheader. Take this time to shout out the Texas A&M University San Antonio's men's golf team, as they'll be heading to another tournament on the 24th of March. So that'll be Monday. They'll be heading to the Linda Lowry Invitation over at Round Rock, Texas. And they've been playing pretty well, Brian.
That's
Finishing.
right, Tony. They've been in the top 5 in the past 3 tournaments, I believe.
Absolutely. And won themselves a good season then as they get ready to, or as they're approaching their Red River Athletic Conference Championship Tournament, which they will automatically get invited to, as there's not many golf teams in our realm of the country. And that'll be here at the Golf Club of Texas. Ryan Limon is getting the nod. As I said earlier, Xenia Perez at the plate for the Saints. And Perez hits it and unable to get under the shortstop and making it to first. Runner on third, and the big 6-footer. Grace Ross is heading to the plate once again, Brian.
Now batting for the Saints, number 21, Grace Ross. Foul ball.
Grace Ross, contact with it. It's going to go a little outside. Counts 1, 2. 2 outs. One more strike will have the Jaguars escape. Top of the 4th inning here. Ryan.
That's right, Tony. I believe that's the first time I've seen 6 points. A team being able to get 6 points in an inning so far. Quite the
Absolutely.
accomplishment.
It's quite the accomplishment, as you said, Brian. The Saints looking to add more to that, as they are all gas, no brakes in the top of this 4th inning. And Grace Ross hitting it straight down the middle, and midfield able to get under it, and Jaguars finally able to escape. Heading to the dugout, going to have a discussion to try to figure out a plan to claw their way back into this one, Brian. And as we get ready for the bottom of the 4th, we'll go ahead and send it into a little break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back here at the park at St. Mary's University where catastrophe was happening in the top of the 4th inning. Jaguars were able to escape. Scores 13-0. And we are waiting here as everybody's getting set down there on the diamond as we have our Lady Jaguars going to be at the plate here, and that'll be number 18, Tori Campos, looking to get something going here for the Jaguars, Brian, as it's been all Saints, them showing the Jaguars and St. Mary's University why they are the national champions.
That's right, Tony. Lady Jags really got to come up with something. They only got the bottom of the 4th and bottom of the 5th inning to make a change.
Pitch was a little high. Nice shade is coming over the park here at St. Mary's University.
That's right, Tony. It's been sunny all day. A little shade won't hurt anybody.
Campos able to get a contact, but that's going to go foul, bringing the count to 1-2. A strike out for Campos. She's heading back to the dugout and taking the outs to 1. Saints continuing to take the game away from the Jaguars. Rachel Warren is here at the plate. Warren gets a good hit on it, but that's going to go right into the hands of the right outfielder. Quick out on the Jaguars as Warren's heading back to the dugout. Ashley Weinart is up to the plate, looking to cook something up for the Jaguars.
Now batting for the Jaguars, number 00, Ashley Weiner.
Ball's a little right, Brian. I'll take it to.
Not sure if you can hear the chant out there, but gotta love the support they're showing to their team members right there.
Absolutely. Although they are in a pinch here, the Jaguars are still in high spirits as they know the game's not over yet. As one more inning to the 5th inning, Brian, as we mentioned earlier, the rule is 8 after 5. If a team is up by 8 innings or 8 runs or more at the end of the 5th inning, that'll be the game. So the Jaguars in desperation looking to get some runs on the board, Brian.
That's right, Tony. There's always an opportunity to get some points right there.
that's going to send Warner to first base. Alyssa Vicente is on the plate.
Now batting for the Jaguars, number 15, Alyssa Vicente.
Oh, and she's Vicente's going to get a hit of it, but that ball's going to go foul.
Foul ball.
Vicente making contact. Oh, and it's able. She's going to make it. Reinhardt's going for third. And she's not going to make it. She's going to be beaten by the ball. Love the effort, though, from Weinhardt trying to get something going for the Jaguars, but sending both teams back to the dugout. Score still 13-0. Saints are running the diamond here at the park at St. Mary's, Brian.
That's right, Tony. The Jaguars knows what's at stake right now, knowing after the bottom of the 5th inning, they got to get some runs out here.
Absolutely. As we get ready for the top of the 5th inning, we'll go ahead and send it into a little break. Keep it here, the Jaguar Sports Network.
Welcome back, everyone, as we're back at the top of the 5th inning right here with Lady Saints are at the second base. First hit right here.
Now batting for the Saints, number 1, Rihanna Aguirre.
Lady Jags got to cook up with something right here as time is ticking.
Absolutely, Brian. Like you said, time is ticking as this is the 5th inning. And the Saints are up big with runner on second. And we have Renee Aguirre hitting at the plate. Limon still on the mound. Jaguars looking for an answer. Counts 1-2 for Gary. Pitched a little out.
Missed the point after. Second or first or second.
Broken belt, small shorts with us. We're getting new shorts. Just let you know we're getting new shorts.
That's good because the women's shorts were bigger than the men's shorts.
I think the assistant
We are
AD
getting
has
new
conversation with Under Armour.
I mean, that is a fact. We'll be getting extra large shirts this year and double XL.
Extra long, baby.
Gary makes contact. Oh, an error there for the shortstop, and Gary's gonna make it to first. Second's gonna make it to third. Runner on first and third, and you got Gomez. I apologize, not Gomez. Lexi Escamilla, who had that grand slam at the top of the fourth inning, Brian. So that's somebody to keep an eye on. We know she can hit as Limon's pitch is high.
That's right, Tony. Not the outcome that Lady Jags want to see right now.
Swinging. That's going to be a strike for Escamilla. Bringing a count 1-1. She's going to make contact. That's going to have a Saint making it to home, but Gomez unable. I apologize, Escamilla unable to make it to first. Runner on second. Scores 14-0. Four of the Saints able to hit a fly out on the right. Gomez is going to head to the dugout. Good 2 outs for the Jaguars, and Saints got a runner on second.
Now batting for the Saints, number 00, Danica Jimenez.
Danica Jimenez at the plate for the Saints, and that's going to be a strike from Limon. Jimenez, good hit right down the middle. It's going to send that second base to home, and Jimenez making it to first, bringing the score to 15 runs, Brian. Jaguars are at loss for words here, as can't seem to find any answer for these defending national champions.
Now batting for the Saints, number 20, Alyssa Garcia.
That's right, Tony. Lady Saints showing us just who are the champions right here.
So Alyssa Garcia is at the plate for the Saints. Limon's pitch is hit, but that ball's going to go foul.
Foul ball.
And that ball, that hit's gonna, Garcia is gonna go straight to in the hands of Weinert. Jaguars able to escape the top of the 5th with only 2 runs by the Saints. The score is gonna be 15-0, and we're heading to the bottom of the 5th. Jaguars looking to make the greatest comeback in school history if they want to keep this game alive. For Jaguar Sports Network, we're Tony Talamantes and Brian Lopez. We'll go ahead and sit into a little break. Keep it here at Jaguar Sports Network. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here back at the park at St. Mary's University, where we are in the second game of this doubleheader of Red River Athletic Conference softball play between the Texas A&M University San Antonio Jaguars and Our Lady of the Lake University Saints. Saints up big at the bottom of the 5th inning, 15-0. Jaguars looking to make the greatest comeback in school history, as that ball is going to go foul as Kaylee Barlow is at the plate. Brian, Jaguars need to get going yesterday.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. In order for them to not get the mercy rule, they need to get at least 8 runs in just this inning.
Barlow making contact, goes straight into the hands of the first baseman. That's out number 1. Quick for the Saints, as Cristiano Luera is looking to be the next at-bat here for the Jaguars.
Now batting for the Jaguars, number 21, Cristiana Luera.
Ball's left, bring the count 1-1, 1 out. Luera makes contact, but that ball's going to go foul.
Well, I haven't started with the easy stage.
Don't forget the hard sticks thing.
Luera makes contact. Oh, it's going to slip through. Second baseman. Luera able to make it to first base. Jaguars. Showing a little bit of life here, Brian, late in this contest.
That's right, Tony. It might be the turning point for this bottom inning.
It's Haley McDonald's heading to the plate. I didn't even have to look at the roster. I just got used to that walkout song as it is one of the best. Donald makes contact. That ball's going to go foul into the stands.
Foul ball.
Are we there?
Donald makes contact. And she's not going to beat the ball to first. Luera able to make it to second. Donald's heading back to the dugout. 2 outs. One more will do it as Samara Aguilera is heading to the plate. Brian.
That's right, Tony. The Saints with the quick throws right there.
Absolutely great awareness of the diamond for the Saints. Something to note, Brian, the third inning is the only inning that the Saints weren't able to get a run in. And it's kind of a crazy stat. Samara Aguilera is going to throw the ball straight to right field. And she's going to make it to first. Luera making it to home. The Jaguars get 1 run in by none other than Christian Luera. Brian, that quick freshman out of Far, Texas. I blinked, and she was already at home, Brian. Able to make 1 run. The score is now 15-1. That 0 is out of here.
That's right, Tony. Softball games, you blink and you'll miss it.
Looks like Jaguars bringing a pinch runner. Junior Belicia.
Now batting for the Jaguars, number 1, Karina Perez.
Karina Perez at the plate for the Jaguars. Makes contact, but that's going to go foul.
Foul ball.
Ball's high, right? Good hit by Perez. That's going to go to midfield. She's going to make it to first. Alicia making it to second. Runners in first and second, Brian. Jaguars are alive here, Brian.
That's right, Tony. They're giving
As-
their little final push right here for the 5th inning.
Absolutely, as Alyssa Pena is heading to the plate. Jaguars still in this. They're not letting up at all here, Brian, as they are well aware of that 8 after 5 rule. Pena looking to continue the trend upward here
Number 22, Alyssa Pena.
with 2 outs. Pitch is right.
When did you start writing stuff down?
I have it at top of the 4th.
Good hit. That ball's going to go foul for Pena.
Foul ball.
I wonder if she has any relation to our editor-in-chief of the Mesquite, Jonathan Pena. Next time I see him, I'll give him that question. He's also the co-host of the radio show for Jaguar College Radio Sportscast. Fridays, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Talk all things sports as Pena hits that ball high up into left field, and that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That'll end the second game of this doubleheader. Second game, all Saints, Brian. The final score, 15-1. The national champs showing why they have that status as reigning champs is they had their way with the Jaguars, only being only not scoring in the third inning, scoring in every other inning. Jaguars are going to have things to talk about after these two games, Brian.
That's right, Tony. Again, we'd like to thank all our viewers. Make sure to like, subscribe, as well as follow our Instagram at Jaguar Sports Network. I'd also like to thank all our Jaguar Sports Network members right here who make it happen for all the viewers out there.
Absolutely, and we will be back here at the park at St. Mary's on Tuesday.
On March 25th at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our doubleheader.
Absolutely, so keep it locked here at Jaguar Sports Network. We'll be back Tuesday, and as Brian said, thank y'all, all the viewers. We couldn't do it without y'all, and appreciate every single one of you. For Jaguar Sports Network, I'm Tony Talamontes, having the privilege of calling this game with the president of Jaguar Sports Network, Brian Lopez. And we will see y'all on the next one. Thank you, everybody.